What's up guys, we are back with another very special video. As you guys can see in the title down below, this is a car video which I'm really excited to get across to y'all. Hit me up on Instagram at PETYY16. That's the best way to get in touch with me, guys. If you have any questions about this video, the setup, kind of just any tips and little like just asking me questions basically on how the ride was, etc., drone, whatever it is. That's the best way to get in contact with me. Right before we get into this video, guys, I do want to say something. This is a Resonator swap, and it is a muffler, I guess, quote unquote delete. So what I did is in the middle I have a Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle. I took my resonators out and I actually put them in the back where the mufflers were. So it's a muffler delete as well too. My rear mufflers are completely gone. Now it's the resonators are in the back where the mufflers were, and there's the Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle where my resonators were. And then I have these chrome tips that I actually got done at the shop. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen my video, or guys go check it out, on how to make a V6 engine sound like a V8 engine for a Chrysler 300s. That video went crazy. It was really popular. So I want to kind of do a follow-up video for you guys because I want to keep the car content coming. I got some exciting things coming from my whip. So, and the 300 popped off like crazy with Cal SRT and all these things going on. So my previous setup, and you guys are gonna see some clips as I'm speaking. My previous setup was very aggressive. It was an extremely aggressive sound. Just to give you guys a little bit of like a background of it, I had a Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle, and then I had nothing in the back. It was straight piped in the back completely. It sounded extremely aggressive. It had burbles. It had power. It made the inside of the cabin kind of shake. It was a very loud sound. I rocked that for about 2 years. 3 years pretty much since the video. But guys, over time, when the air is pushed through, or the exhaust air, I guess, you know, gas, whatever you want to call it, is pushed through the actual pipes, they essentially get bigger and get wider, and it makes the car a lot louder. And the drone was too much, man. When I was going on the highway, the drone was way too loud. Over time, in the beginning it wasn't bad at all. I actually really enjoyed the car, and even recently now too, when I would ride on the streets, it was fun. It sounded really beautiful. It still had the very nice burbles. They sounded amazing. And a lot of guys would pull up beside my car and be like, damn, like what kind of engine is that? Like what do you got in there, you know? And when I started my car as a cold start, it had that kind of hemi sound where you can hear almost like chopsticks, you know, that thick throaty sound. So, but after a while, guys, the drone was just too much, and I had to kind of get that done. So I was watching a few videos online, and essentially what I did was just put my resonators back on when I was straight piped in the back where the mufflers were, and it still had a good amount of drone. This is essentially the clips I'm going to show you in this video are basically the setup that I have right now. But I'm actually getting a new setup done. We'll get into that in a little bit. But there is still drone from my previous setup, but the shakiness and the cabin is gone. So the thing that really annoyed me with my original setup was that there was a lot of shakiness in the cabin, and the drone was really loud on the highway. And it actually says on the website, when you buy this from Amazon or wherever you buy it from, it says do not use on the highway, because on the highway it's extremely loud. When it gets to that RPM of 2,000 to 3,000, it gets very loud. When it stays under 2,000 RPM or goes above 3,000 RPM, it actually sounds very nice. But a lot of times when you're driving, you're going to be in that 2,000 RPM area, and that's where it doesn't sound really too good. It has a lot of droning, and I didn't like that. So currently now, the actual shakiness in the cabin and the drone went down a good amount, but the drone is still there. I kind of want to be low key, man, because this is a V6 car, and I absolutely love it. It has a good amount of power. I have a quarter intake. I love the way that I was able to make a V6 sound. It sounded beautiful, but you know, I'm looking in the future, God willing, to get a SRT or get a Hemi engine, and then I'm gonna work on that. But I had so much fun with this setup. So currently right now, guys, we're gonna get into kind of the details of this setup right now. I really like it. It's a lot more aggressive than just being stock, but it does have a little bit of drone in the cabin. It's a much more bearable than the aggressive setup I had before, which was straight piped in the back, and then a Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle. this setup with the resonators in the back where the mufflers were and the Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle did a good job with essentially getting rid of that shakiness in the cabin. But I will say one thing, there's a lot of aggressiveness that went away. So the actual chopstick sound that I was talking about, that cold start where you can hear like the burbling on the cold start, it kind of went away. It wasn't that loud anymore, and obviously the burbles and the loudness, like all those good notes kind of went away as well too. There still is burbles in this setup. There's burbles and you can hear the burbles and you'll hear them near the end of the video, but the main part for me was getting rid of that drone. That was kind of the unbearable part, because that's kind of like the cheap sounding aspect that I didn't like. It made it sound kind of like more like cheap, you know. And I really loved the actual tones and the growls and the burbles and that power. That sounded amazing. But once that drone was kind of taking that over, I didn't like that. So that is the setup I currently have, guys, and with enough yapping, I'm just gonna summarize it all. Pretty much the setup I have right now in the back is I deleted my rear mufflers, so my rear mufflers are gone. I put my resonators that are initially in the middle, I put my resonators in the back. So where the mufflers were, my resonators are. And then now in the middle, there's no resonators, but in the middle, I put my Flowmaster Super 10 in the middle. So this is a semi-aggressive sound, slight drone, but there's no shakiness, there's no vibrations in the cabin. There's just kind of a loud drone sound, but it's bearable. On the streets, it's not really there, it's more so on the highway. And guys, let's get into some exhaust, a cold start, some exhaust noise, some revs. Let's get into all that good stuff. We're gonna get into that right now, just so you guys can hear everything, and let me know what you guys think of the setup. I actually shot a interior cabin video, and I also shot some outside shots. So let me know what you guys think of this setup, and I got a special setup coming for you soon after this. I actually quieted my car even more, so we'll get into that. I'm gonna do that in another video, but let me know what you guys think of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at PTYY16, and let's get into it. Love y'all.